last week, the beginning of practice, just take the hands together for a moment. Feel the contact between the hands. And this is the transition space into practice where we take the attention and energy we give out to the world around us through our day. And now we take that energy and attention and bring it in towards ourselves. Noticing how it feels to be in your body at this moment. The quality of the sensations in your body, the quality of your thoughts and emotions. And then this sequence, we're going to do lying on the floor when they're home. So we're going to focus on things that you can do while lying down. So this kind of sequence can be useful if the energy's a little low, or if maybe you just want to do a little simple movement in the morning or in the evening, close to bedtime. And so first we'll just begin by lying on the back and noticing how it feels to be on the floor. So maybe let's begin with the soles of the feet on the floor, the knees bent. And any adjustments you make to help feel more comfortable on the floor. So all of our bodies are different shapes and sizes. So for some of us might be easy to lie down, everything kind of finds its place. And for some of us, we need to sort of rock a little bit, find a way that your back is comfortable on the floor. And then let's come back to the breath. So just take a few breaths, inhaling a little more deeply than you might inhale normally. And exhale a little bit longer. And see if you can keep the low back close to the floor, even as you take a deep breath in and out. And then gently, we're going to take one knee up, so 1 foot away from the floor. I had Sarah mention to you guys, you could have a strap or a towel nearby. So you can either hold behind the thigh, behind the knee, or you can use a towel or a strap like I have to hold the knee. So using the strap can be much more comfortable for some of us. And we're just going to gently pull the knee towards us as we exhale. And as you inhale, let the knee move away from you. Exhale, let the knee move towards you. You can also do this with hands on the knee or behind the knee. So just notice what you feel in your hip, low back. As much as possible, moving with the breath. And then we're going to stay on the same side, either holding behind the leg or holding the strap or the towel. I'll use the strap throughout the practice just so you can see that version. And then you're just going to keep the thigh where it is, maybe something like 90 degrees bent. And as you inhale, you're just going to stretch the foot up towards the ceiling as high as it'll go. Your leg doesn't have to be straight. And once your leg goes as high as it'll go, then flex the foot back, toes like they're going to point towards your face. And then exhale, relax the foot, let the knee bend and come down. And the thigh stays where it is. So inhale up, flex the foot, exhale down. So this is a little exercise. What you're doing here, what you can watch for is how your knee is moving. So the tracking of the knee. This is a safe way to look at the tracking of the knee without putting weight on it. How your ankle and foot move, how much mobility. And each time you come up, you're engaging the muscles through the front of the leg, lengthening in the back, and then you release that. So don't worry about having a straight leg. You're just activating the muscles in the front of the leg. And if there's a little tightness in the back of the leg, the knee will still be bent quite a bit. And then we're going to stay with the foot up, flexed towards you if you can. So at this point, some of you might feel comfortable letting go of the leg, letting go of the strap, and just having the hands out to the side on the floor. So you're using a little bit more strength in the leg to hold the leg up. Otherwise, hold on to the back of the leg or hold on to your strap. And then you're just going to point the foot and flex the foot. So be careful here if you have a tendency to get cramps in the foot. So what I find is if you tend to get cramps in the foot, don't point the toes too much when you point the foot. Keep the toes relaxed. And if you have no problems with cramps, then you can really point the toes with the foot and flex back. And then just a little circle with this foot ankle. Feel the lower leg and the foot, how they're connected. And then 2 last movements from here. At any time, if you need a break, feel free to take it. Otherwise, we're going to let this leg come straight down about 45 degrees here. And make sure your low back still feels close to the floor. And then exhale, come up. So inhale, come down. Exhale, come up. If you're doing this at home and want to work a little harder with the muscles, feel free to bring the leg down further, but just don't lose the control of the low back and pelvis here. And then similarly, we're going to take the leg out to the side and up. And just like we did in the other one, make sure the pelvis stays where it is, nice and anchored. This foot on the floor helps that. If you're using a strap, you can take the hand on the same side as the stretched leg and hold onto the strap and go with the leg down and up. So I find halfway down is a good starting point for most people to keep depending on how much movement you're doing in your life and this particular kind of movement, halfway down or so, most people can have some control over the movement. So we start wherever we are. And then after that, you're just going to take that leg down towards the floor and pause a moment and just feel your body. If it's comfortable for your back, you can stretch both legs out for a moment. Otherwise, keep this leg bent. And then we're going to transition to the other side. So the soles of both feet come to the floor. You can take your strap behind the thigh, or you can take your hands behind the thigh. And just gently pull the knee towards you on exhale. And inhale, let that knee move away. So this movement is intended to create some lengthening sort of behind the hip on the side that you're pulling towards you. And then eventually let's keep the leg something like 90 degrees from the thigh to the belly. You can use your strap or hands, or if you like, you can even just rest the hands on the floor. And just a few times, inhale, extend the foot up, flex the foot, and then back. Inhale up and back down. About 3 more times. Foot up, flex the foot. Doesn't matter if your knee is bent or not. Just feel a little bit of lengthening in the back of the leg as you come up, a little bit of work in the muscles in the front of the leg, hip flexors. The less support you have holding the leg up, the more those muscles will work, but we don't want to overwork them. And then the next time you come up, let's stay there. Hold the leg flex, the foot flex for a moment. Arms could be out to the side or supporting the leg with a towel or strap. And then just point and flex the foot in whatever way you can. Just notice the relationship between the lower leg, the ankle, and the foot. And then maybe just a couple of circles. Since this is a second side, just be aware of how it may be different than the first side. And then either with the strap or strap free with the hands on the floor, you're just going to lower the straight leg about halfway down. Keep the low back close to the floor, so engaging the belly a bit. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. And then now we're going to do that same movement, but now to the side. So inhale, open the leg about halfway. Exhale, up. You can always go further, but just keep the pelvis in the same position as you go down and come back up. Then after about 3 times, you can release that leg down to the floor and just notice what you feel. If it feels okay for your body, you can stretch out both legs. Otherwise, just stay here for a moment, pause, feel the body. And then bring the soles of both feet to the floor again. So this is a simple series, just a few minutes long. It's not a long, extended series. So it's not it's not a weight training event. It's just intended to wake up, to bring some awareness and circulation to different parts of the body. So now it's just a little counter pose here to the hip flexors. Keep the hands on the floor, and you're just going to lift the pelvis up towards the floor. So lift as high as is comfortable for you, because as you do this, the weight is coming onto the shoulders, the neck is flexing forward quite a bit. But when you come down, however high you're up, come down one vertebra at a time. So the upper back first, then the mid back, low back, and sacrum. And continue doing that, moving with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. If you have the space around you where you're practicing, you can take the hands next to the hips, and the next time you lift the pelvis, raise the arms over the head and all the way down so the arms come to the floor somewhere next to your head. And then exhale, bring the body down and bring the hands down at the same time so the hands come back next to the hips. Inhale, hands and hips moving together. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up. And exhale, back down. And then next time you come into this posture, maybe stay here a few breaths. The arms can stay up next to the head, or you can bring them back next to the body so they can be up or they can be down, whatever feels most comfortable. Just stay a few breaths here. It's a little bit of a back bend. You might feel a little bit of work with the muscles in the back side of the body, holding you in place. Feet flat on the floor. And then after a few breaths, you're just going to come down, pause a moment. And just a gentle sort of window washer kind of movement with the knees. This sort of brings the sacrum one side and then the other side back down. And then we're going to do a gentle twist. So there's two versions I'll offer you. So version 1 is with the feet a little bit wider apart than the hips. On your exhale, just take the knees down as far as they'll come to one side. Inhale up to the center. Exhale to the other side. So this is version 1 with the feet on the floor. This twists a little more sort of the low back. And if you want to sort of feel more twisting in sort of the mid upper back, you can take the feet away from the floor. This is version 2. Keep the arms out to the side, palms of the hands down. This sort of helps control the movement. And as you exhale, you'll twist those knees down towards the floor, like you're going to try to bring the knees towards the elbow. If you do that and find that the shoulder is hanging out, this arm's kind of hanging out in the air, just bring the hand a little closer towards the hip. And then inhale, lift up, come to the center, exhale to the other side. So do whichever version feels best for you, just about 3 times on each side. And whichever version you do, control the movement so you're not sort of flopping in to a posture. We can talk details of this movement afterwards, but do your best just to feel some twisting in the spine. And then eventually we're going to stay in this twisted position. So let the knees come to one side and just stay here for a few breaths. About 4 breaths if you're doing this at home on your own. I'm not too dogmatic about doing one side this many times, that side that many times. When you're practicing at home, the luxury you have is to feel your body. And there may be days when a twist on one side needs to be a little longer than the other side. So eventually we're going to switch to the other side. The great thing about having on-demand practices like this is you can always mute me or turn me off for a minute, do your own thing, feel your body, and then come back for some guidance. And then eventually when we finish that second side, we're going to come back to the center with the feet on the floor. And we're going to do a little simple movement around an image. You can imagine, have you ever seen a butterfly sort of land somewhere and it kind of pumps its wings like it's practicing a little bit? That's what we're going to sort of do here with our own knees. So the feet, ankles, and knees touch at the beginning. And then as you inhale, the knees are going to come down towards the floor on both sides. And then as you exhale, the knees come together. So inhale, knees to the floor. Exhale, knees together. And then we're going to change a little bit. So this time, inhale, knees towards the floor. Exhale, come up halfway. Pause here and inhale. And then exhale, knees all the way together. So knees to the floor on inhale. We'll do that same rhythm halfway. Exhale, halfway up. Stay here, take a breath in. Exhale, knees all the way together. And we'll do 2 more rounds, but this time we're going to come up in thirds. So inhale, knees towards the floor. Exhale, 1/3 of the way up. And then pause. Inhale. Exhale, 2/3 of the way. Pause and inhale. Exhale, knees completely together. One more time like that. So inhale, knees all the way apart. Exhale, 1/3 of the way up. And pause. Stay there, inhale. Exhale, 2/3 of the way. So you're moving nice and slowly. Inhale. Exhale, 3/3 of the way, all the way together. And pause. Feet can come a little further apart. A little window wiper on both sides. And then we're going to turn over to the side and we're going to sit up. So we're going to be in a seated position for a few minutes. So sit in a way that feels comfortable. So for many of us who are used to sitting in chairs, for example, may have a bit of limitations sitting cross-legged on the floor. So I strongly suggest for many people to use a pretty good sized cushion if you're going to sit on the floor. Otherwise, sit on a chair. And just pause for a minute and feel your body. So in this sequence, we're doing a short rest after the movement. So the movement was on the floor, gentle, supported. So we're just resting in a seated position. So feeling the body. And then we're going to come to that spiral counting technique that we looked at last week. And then after this sort of breathing practice, we'll do a little bit of a longer lying down practice. So I'm going to use my left hand to count to 12. And I'm going to introduce a technique that we can use. It's a technique where we exhale through one nostril or the other nostril. So the way that we'll do it is this. So we'll inhale through, first of all, if your nose is blocked, just breathe the best way that you can breathe and forget the details of this technique. If you can breathe okay through both nostrils today, what we're going to do is inhale through both nostrils. Pause a moment. We're going to take the index finger, close the right side, and exhale through just the left nostril. You're going to take the hand down, inhale through both nostrils. Pause, close the left side, exhale through the right nostril. Pause, take the hand down, inhale both nostrils. Exhale, right nostril close, exhale left. We're going to do this 12 breaths. So inhale both nostrils. Exhale, left side close, right side exhale. Pause, hand down, inhale through both sides. Close the right nostril, exhale left. Release the hand and the pause, inhale both sides. Exhale left. Exhale right, closing the left. Inhale both nostrils. Exhale right side, closes, exhale through the left nostril. Release the hand, inhale both nostrils. Exhale, close the left, exhale right nostril. Inhale both nostrils. Close the right, exhale left. Inhale both nostrils. Close the left, exhale right. 2 more breaths like this. Inhale both nostrils. Close the right side, exhale left. Inhale both nostrils. Close the left side, exhale right. And then slowly release control of the breath. Pause a moment and just feel your body. So this technique is a technique for focusing a little bit on lengthening the exhale. And again, as you practice this technique on your own, go as long as feels comfortable, extending the length of the exhale with one side closed. If you come to this part of the practice and your energy feels quite low, you can do the opposite technique. So inhaling through one side and exhaling through both nostrils. So these are 2 good techniques. And then from here, I want you to lie down on the floor. And we're going to be lying down for a good 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. So when you come to the floor, make sure you feel comfortable, you feel warm. If it's better to lie on a couch or a bed nearby, that's completely allowed. And we'll just give a first experience of this guided relaxation. So if you can lie on the back, then take a moment and just see if you can feel like your shoulder blades come flat down on the floor underneath of you. Let the legs open, just the feet to the side, feet as wide apart as feels comfortable for your hips. Arms somewhere next to your body. For many people, the arms a little further away can allow the shoulder to be open. And just sort of generally notice from the head and neck, shoulders, the torso resting comfortably on the floor, low back, hips, upper legs, knees, ankles, feet. Just sort of feeling your whole body begin to rest and release. And then noticing your breath, maybe a gentle rising and falling of the belly. With each inhale, feel like nourishing energy is coming into your body. Each exhale, releasing what you don't need in this moment. Each inhale, feeding your energy, supporting you. Exhale, letting go. You don't have to force yourself to relax. Just invite your body to be as still as comfortable. And I'll guide your attention through your body as we sort of make friends with different parts of ourselves. So let's take our attention to the top of the head. Noticing the crown of the head, the sides of the head, the skin, the deeper levels of the head, the bone, even deep into your own brain. Noticing the sense organs, the ears, the eyes resting in the sockets, the nose, feeling the air moving in and out, the mouth, the whole area of the face, jaw, and just inviting this whole head to rest and relax. And notice what it feels like to offer that invitation. And then moving the attention down to the neck, the throat, representing the area of self-expression, how we transform our inner experience to the world around us through our voice. And taking our attention to the shoulders, the front of the shoulders and the clavicle, the back of the shoulders, shoulder blades, out to the edges of the shoulder joint, connecting to the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, down to the hands, to the fingertips, as if you can breathe in from the crown of the head down to the fingertips and breathe out back up to the crown of the head. Feeling this whole part of your upper body releasing, relaxing. And then bringing the attention from the fingertips through the hands and wrists and elbows to the shoulders. And now feeling the whole chest cavity, spine and ribs, the organs of respiration, And pausing just a moment in the center of the chest, the emotional center, the place where love is felt and expressed. And then moving down to the area of the diaphragm, this transition between the upper body and lower body, the organ of respiration, and down into the belly, feeling the abdominal organs, the organs of digestion, also the low back as it comes into contact with the floor, bringing the attention further down to the pelvis, containing all the organs of elimination, reproduction, the sacrum, tailbone, feeling like the root of the pelvis all the way to the crown of the head fills with energy with each inhale and releases on each exhale. Feeling now the hips, the upper legs, the knees, the lower legs, the ankles, and feet. Breathing as one body from the crown of the head all the way to the feet. Exhaling from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Into the universe and back into your body with each inhale and exhale. The whole body breathes. And then slowly we'll bring our attention from the feet back to the ankles, the lower legs and knees, the upper legs, the hips and pelvis, the lower abdomen, upper abdomen, the rib cage, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms and fingers releasing, up the arms to the neck and throat, bringing the attention up the face, area of the third eye, and slowly all the way back up to the crown of the head. And then just be in this quiet space for a few moments. You are peace. You are presence. You are awareness. And then slowly invite your body to move again. Maybe take a breath or two. Wiggle, stretch the fingers, toes, legs, and hands. And in your own time, make your way to sitting. And then as you find your seated position, just take the hands together. As we bring the hands together, we make this transition from inner awareness to our expressive self. As always, if you're practicing at home, you can stay a little longer in this position. Use the pause button freely. Otherwise, we end here, return to our day.